It's 7:10 a.m.
It's 7:10 a.m.
Time to wakey wakey and time for bakey.
Time to wakey wakey and time for bakey.
Get ready for your host with more.
Get ready for your host with more.
Mr. Brian Brown.
Mr. Brian Brown.
It's 7:10 a.m.
It's 7:10 a.m.
Que la roja bichuela y guandules no viene ligado igualito que yuca. Ese pelo que tiene tan lindo, no venga a pensar que eso es una peluca. Tiene cotorra perico, yo tengo cotorra, tú tienes la cuca. Está claro en el ring, en el piso yo quiero.
No critiques mi pelo, que la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, que la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, que la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de odio tú estás lleno. No critiques mi pelo, que la soy bueno, porque tú no tienes que de...
And boom, we are on, guys. Welcome to 7:10 a.m. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, guys. That is correct. Welcome. What this is your morning show, guys. If it's your first time watching, you found the morning show for the rest of your life. That is right, guys. We go live every morning at 7:10, and we count down the ridiculous of the world, guys. We look at the worst foods, the worst toys, the most dangerous stuff. And today we got the worst horror movie sequels of all time. We leave no stone unturned, guys. We're talking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 97 or whatever they were up to. We're talking, did you know there was many sequels to I Know What You Did Last Summer? I had no idea there was this many sequels. I thought there was one or two. No, there's a lot of them, guys. When Hollywood sees an oil, like a chance to make money, like an oil hole, they'll suck that sucker dry for everything they got, whether it's straight to DVD or watching at 4 in the morning, guys, that people do. Speaking of 4 in the morning, Anthony blowing up the chat this morning at 4 a.m. Whoa. Oh, man. Well, lucky for me, guys, hey, this is for full disclosure, guys. This is pre-recorded. I am actually, as you're watching this, probably getting ready to go under the knife, as they say. I'm having a procedure done up in Vegas. Hopefully it's the last. They're burning nerves in my freaking spine. I got a million herniated discs, and they're going to just burn the nerves and see if that helps. So, yeah. So I wanted to pre-record this for you guys. So, we got something at 7:10. Couldn't leave you hanging. No, we don't do that at the Daily Dank. You guys know that. Big shout out to everyone on here, guys. The usual suspects. The Kingman crew. Big shout out to Lonnie, Chantel, Russ, Jeremy, Tay, we miss you. Hopefully we see you soon. And everyone, Nova Mike, Teresa Deller, Tim W, my buddy. How you doing? Baker. Leanne Baker, one of my favorites. Everyone who could be watching because it's pre-recorded. I don't know. All the usual suspects, guys. So this will be a little bit shorter. I gave myself plenty of time to give you guys a full show, but probably be around the 20-minute mark or so. So, guys, what's new and exciting in the world today? Oh man, a lot of different stuff going on. Can you believe the war in Ukraine has been going on for a little over a year? I was just I had a guest on the other podcast I'm working on, guys. If haven't talked to, I have like about 50 interviews with celebrities, with psychics, with you name it. I just need to figure out a forum to drop them, and I'm working on that. There's a lot of stuff in the air. But interviewed a gentleman last night who's a teacher. He wrote a D&D series. He's teaching his kids Greek mythology. He's a history teacher by using role-playing games, and they're absorbing it. Really, really cool. Really cool interview. Um, shoot, and lost my train of thought. That's what happens when you do these so early in the morning. Um, it was very cool talking to him, and I had a point, and I can't remember it. Oh well. Oh man. Oh, anyway. Oh, that's right. So he went, and he's a magician too. He went to Ukraine as a like the volunteer, and he was actually in Poland, and he was entertaining refugees with magic, and he was just saying how humble these Ukrainians are, how they don't accept gifts even though they have nothing. Their world is torn. They're just so proud and such a that's how they're raised. They just don't take handouts or charities. And yeah, it was just an amazing story. And we started talking about some of the heroes from this Ukraine war. And one was the guys on the island about a year ago. Who remembers that? That the Russian warship rolls up to this island, and it would have been the first. They had to get past this island, and they tell the people, "Hey, you need to surrender on this island, or we're gonna blow it apart." And the guy gets on the microphone and says, "We talked about it," and we say, "Fuck you." And they okay, bah, 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 and blew up the whole island. But man, major respect. Major respect for them. And then the guy who blew up the bridge. Let's not forget that, man. That's like a action movie stunt. The guy was the Russians were coming. He had a bridge. He didn't have enough time to get off the bridge himself to blow it, but it was such a major critical point that would stop the Russian invasion. He blew the bridge with himself on it, and he didn't make it. That's the stuff, man. These people need to be honored. Like, they're not Americans, they're not fighting for our war, but at the same time, man, people are people. Um, and everyone deserves freedom. I don't even know why we're freaking at this in 2023, but we are, guys. So, been over a year in Russia. God bless you guys. Hopefully, the war ends soon. Hopefully, we stop sending them money soon. We don't talk politics, but I just wanted to mention that because those guys are heroes and they deserve a moment. And you know what? I'm going to give them a 5-second moment of silence, guys. At least I can do. All right. All right, just that simple, guys. That was we won't get into like I said, we don't talk politics on the show, but I always thought that was weird in school. Um, in my class when I was a kid, we called it the moment of silence, but in other schools, I guess they called it the prayer or something. And a controversy, remember in the '90s, and oh, you shouldn't make kids pray in school. Well, it's a moment of silence. You don't have to pray. You could think. You could reflect. That's right. It's teaching kids meditation, if nothing else. You shouldn't have to throw the prayer thing in there. Let's just be on. Hey, take a moment, breathe, and you start your day good. And that's what we're gonna do, guys. You know what? Each and every one of you guys are important. Don't ever forget that, man. Each and every one of you is critical to the way this world works, guys. And know what you're worth. You're worth a lot to me. All right. Appreciate you guys. Let's get into this list. And then I gotta hit the road, Jack. And don't you oh no, I better come back. All right. What do we got? Okay, first up, guys, we got Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Toby Hooper's original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a nail-biting thrill ride that earned its legend in the halls of horror cinema. Leatherface proved menacing and mechanically terrifying, as did his misfit family of murderers and schemers. To this day, the 1974 film still holds a world record for most earth-shattering screams from its final girl. Well, I didn't know that. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is not Texas Chainsaw Massacre, guys. This is a money grab. This was let's show Leatherface opposite Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of. Is this the one? I remember the previews where there was like a silver chainsaw and it goes like the lady in the lake, and you see Leatherface's hand go up out of the lake and he comes walking out. I think that's what this one was. Oh man, Hollywood, Hollywood. Yeah, it was a battle altogether, guys. A basic horror movie. Leatherface, he's mad. He kills people. It really, nothing, not a lot to it. All right, guys. One of the first ones in space. We got Leprechaun 4 in space. We all know the campy creature feature Leprechaun spawned countless sequels. Well, this time the mischievous scoundrel appears on an alien planet, threatening to upset its established order by marrying their princess. And as if that's not absurd enough, space marines arrive and ultimately kill the leprechaun. With one bold marine decides to relieve his bladder on the corpse of the leprechaun. The little monstrosity's soul travels through the man's stream into his body. Oh, there's nothing worse than when leprechauns come to town and they want to marry your princess and upset your way of life. No, there's nothing worse than that, guys. And you need the space marines to come in. And then you should know you don't pee on leprechauns because they're going to go up your stream and into your body. That was a writer with way too much time on his hands. This guy's like, hey, this is how we're going to bring Leprechaun back this time, guys. Oh, number 11. I know these are mixed match, guys. The Amityville Curse. If we told you there was more milk in the Amityville franchise than at your local dairy farm, you might believe it. A solitary incident involving a family reporting supernatural happenings in a home where a murder took place has somehow spawned 10 feature films. The horrific true story of Ronald DeFeo Jr. killing his family as they slept in their Amityville, New York home is a genuine piece of American horror history. Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved in the investigation. But when is enough enough? Man, 10 movies, 10 feature films from the Amityville. And what's this, the curse? So like a family not knowing they moved into Amityville. That's usually how it goes. There was a remake recently with the girl from Shake It Up, the dance show, Bella Thornton. Is that her name? Yeah, it wasn't that good. Better than this one though, I'll tell you that. All right, up next, guys, we got the Omen. The Omen, what is this, 6? The Omen 6, The Awakening. This is actually considered one of the worst films of all time, not even horror sequels, guys. Over the course of 3 films, we watched Damien Thorne come into the lives of his adopted parents. As an infant, grow into adulthood, being the anarchist or antichrist, has a lot on his shoulders, namely murder, mischief, and deceit. The Allman films are genuinely creepy simply because the evil that surrounds Damien. Even when he isn't directly committed atrocious acts, sinister forces at work, influencing his path towards leadership by removing all obstacles, even his mysterious caretakers. So, if you guys are familiar with the Omen, the Damien's the Antichrist, all Satan worshippers are trying to set him up. this has nothing to do with this is just like they're like, hey, let's focus on some people setting Damien up for other stuff. We don't even need Damien in this movie. Oh my god, man. Yeah, again, just sheer chaos. What about, let me make sure I got that one right. Yeah. What about Candyman 3, guys? Day of the Dead. The fact that it has an HBO logo and look at that lighting on the thing. Yeah, this is a crap movie. Tony Todd, the man behind the terrifying hook-handed Candyman, portrayed a character for multiple sequels. The first film carefully crafted a horror story that was immersed in pain, grief, and tragedy. You know, a lot of those first horror movies do have a great story, and then they just try to twist every last drop out of it. And tragedy, as well as myth and urban legends. The terror that is the Candyman is a nerve-wracking when he appears on screen to gut those who attempt fate. Even his own backstory is grounded in mystery, guys. Kind of like a Bloody Mary thing. That's how Candyman appears. Candyman 3 is like the lowest budget. Oh my God, the lighting, you guys can see. Look at the lighting's horrible. Storyline sucks. Oh man, that's what you're watching when Anthony's messaging at 4 in the morning. Lonnie was watching Candyman 3 this morning. Oh, what about the final destination, guys? We know that there's a final destination, but then there's the final destination, with a fourth film in the series that simply got progressively weaker each installment. The final destination was bound to suffer the rehashed tropes. The horror series began in 2000 with the release of Final Destination, starring Devon Swa. The first film follows a group of teenagers, and it was groundbreaking, guys. The first Final Destination, man, you saw nothing like it. It's about cheating death. If you say, let's say you're in traffic, and it's your time to go, and the car hits you, but you don't go, or maybe the car hits something else. Destiny gets involved. Final Destination, and now death needs to hunt you, needs to hunt you down and kill you. One of my favorites was like the pole going like, so basically it's these kids who cheated death and they're trying to cheat death again. Death's coming for them. You know, about the fourth film, I think you start running out of ideas. You know, it would be cool. Well, no, we already did that. And I think that's where this fell. You know, they don't try to mix it up. They don't try to reinvent it. They just use the same formula and, you know, go to the well one too many times, and that's what happens, guys. All right. We got Child's Play 3. The fact that Chucky looks like that should say everything about Child's Play 3. I think they were trying to mess with technology, and they're like, hey, we got this new technology. We can make Chucky look more real. You know, they got it. He's creepy. He's creepy for sure. Perhaps after two films featuring a serial killer trapped inside a doll, Chucky can't possibly be quite as scary anymore. The problem is Child's Play 3 grappled with the film's faded spectacular to reinvent the horror the first two movies started. Instead, it presented a wild premise where Chucky is once again resurrected by a greedy corporation, and devious plastic plaything tracks down Andy, who is now this is the military school one. I forgot about the military school. Oh my God. You know, you hang out with killer dolls, you're going to military school. Just that easy, guys. All right, up next we got Jason X. Again, another one in space. Oh, now here's one fella who just doesn't know when to die, and neither does the horror franchise. Yeah, in space, that was so. There's like a time capsule, if you will, in space, and has all this information on Earth, and somehow Jason gets out and he gets upgraded by AI, and When you need a movie. I did not even know that there was a Pet Cemetery 2. To this day, director Mary Lambert's 1989 Stephen King's adaptation Pet Cemetery still captures the mind and hearts of horror fans alike. As a haunting story, the film aged rather well thanks to some enderly creepy imaginary. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the sequel, Pet Cemetery 2, starring Edward Furlong as a young teen. So that's Terminator, right? The kid from Terminator. Must have been right after that. Who just moved into a town with his father, plays an aggressive, abusive town sheriff. In fact, so basically, kid moves to town. Pet Cemetery. Hey, get the kid from Terminator. I'm sure it will be a hit. That's what they were saying. Now, we cannot forget the king of November to Dismember, guys. Jason is back again. This time he's taken on Manhattan, which I think is a unique, kind of cool. They did it in Scream 6 that just came out, which we reviewed. Check out Movie Monday on It's 420 Somewhere podcast. But I kind of like horror films set in New York. It's a different vibe. I love how no one cares when someone gets murdered because they're just so self-involved. But yeah, what is this, like, part 8, part 9? I don't. What about Halloween Resurrection? This is the worst Michael Myers mask ever, by the way. How could Michael Myers possibly return for another bloody adventure with Laurie Strode decapitating the man? Well, a writer's mind, pen to paper, is all they need to bring him back. So the ending was him getting decapitated. Then in 1988's Halloween H2O, 20 years later, by showing that Laurie actually decapitated an innocent man wearing Michael's famous mask. And of course, the shape roams free once again. So they kind of took from the well with the final chapter or whatever it was that just came out, where they think Michael Myers is this other guy, and they're like, "Evil dies tonight." Oh, Anthony Michael Hall. It was such a great career, and he had to end it on "Evil dies tonight." Oh, this is the one, guys. I had no idea this movie even existed. I'll always know what you did last summer. One could argue it takes a lot of effort to lose horribly as this film on our list has. Movies with a zero critic score on Rotten Tomatoes aren't all that common. Damn, of course, most straight to video productions such as always know what you did last summer, don't even get as many critics to bother. So this movie couldn't even get critics to watch it. I've never even heard of it. Never even heard of it. All right, guys. Troll 2. We just covered this. We cover this all the time. Horrible movie. Has nothing to do with the first. The budget. Just look at the trolls. That's all we need to say. Look at the trolls, guys. And last but not least, we got the Book of Shadows. Blair Witch 2. No one could have suspected the small indie film, The Blair Witch, would cause such an immense excitement among the general public at the time of its release. A found footage film, the first of its kind, that was propelled to eventually every format by positioning itself as a real artifact. The original Blair Witch did not require an expensive budget. That simplicity of the horror. Yeah, guys. So Blair Witch 2 sucked. It sucked bad. They tried to make a movie out of it. Blair Witch was the original found footage movie. You can't go, you can't hate it. The original found footage movie. And they tried to make a real movie after that. It just didn't play out. It didn't go well. It sucked. Hey, did I miss something? Blow up, guys. Let me know if you have a movie that deserves to be on the list. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I gotta head to Vegas. I gotta go do my neck. Please send me some positive thoughts and prayers, guys. I will be back at 4:20 with another episode. It's Weed Wednesday, guys. Get into some crazy stuff. Doing some strain reviews. I got some product testing we're gonna do, guys. So make sure you tuning in at 4:10. We go live and we count down to 4:20, guys. I don't know what's going on, guys. We got all sorts of stuff, but I'm out of here. We'll see ya.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home.